And I don't even know where to start. This shipment, these orders, the amount of coral we have right now in the store is a little bit overwhelming. It's a lot. It's a lot to work through. It's a lot to go through. Okay, what's going on, my Reefy fam? Hi, March here, Fragbox TV. 2, not 1, uno, dos shipments of corals. So I was waiting for the second one to come in, which came last night, so that I could do one of these walkthrough videos that I think you guys like, and kind of highlight some of my favorite pieces. Also give you commentaries, sidetracks, a little ADHD, a little American Bulldog. You know how it goes. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're new. Hello, welcome to the channel. This is our store in Toronto that specializes in really corals. That's our niche. That's our forte. That's our jam, man. Okay, I got to show you this thing because I've never seen something quite like this. I have seen open brain corals before. I've seen lots of open brain corals. I've never seen 50 of them glued to a dome like this. Holy guacamole. Isn't that cool? Isn't that one like beautiful, living, amazing piece of art? Isn't it nice as well that they'll smother each other, but they don't really sting each other. They're able to live in harmony. Something that humanity has yet to figure out. Okay, let's see what else we have. Amazing clams. Let me walk back over here and show you. I haven't had clams here in quite some time. There's a mix. No, there's not a Mitch. Mitch is somebody's name. Maybe your name that's watching this. There's a mix of Crocea, Squamosa, and Maxima. Now, unfortunately, I do see a couple that are probably not going to make it. This one right here, this is a really bad sign. If you're ever looking to buy a clam, don't buy any that look like that. No good. Like that, very good. The mantle's out, fully extended, receding, kind of pulling in, retracting like that, and like that. That is very, very bad. I really just wanted to show you what not to buy, what to look for so that you end up with a healthy one. Another good trick to do, you kind of wave your hand over and look for reaction to the light. They're photosensitive and they'll actually close. There's a lot of nice colors in here. Lots of nice mixes. A little bit bigger than I'm used to getting, but if you're looking for like a showpiece, like the center of your tank, really something to show off, nothing makes a statement more than a clam. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what else we're working with. Some really nice flower pots. Very, very nice. Goniporas, alveoporas, and something that I just learned, pretty new about these, is they carry something called GPT? Gonipora. It's a type of toxin. Anyways, that's what kills, or not kills, what stings other corals. Oh, perfect. That's what I want to see. I want to see some Gonipora right there, stinging some Blastomusa. Look at that. Just as I spoke about it, a little bit of coral warfare, a little bit of that GPT going on. Is it going to harm you? No. Some people can have allergic reactions. I wonder if Gonies and algae sting each other. Sometimes when I put them really close, I think generally they're okay, but I believe, don't quote me on this one, there are 22 subspecies under the name Gonipora. I don't know why that feels right. 22 is the number I'm going with. Sometimes these are our frags, and we'll put them quite close, Gonies and albies, and generally okay, sometimes not so hot. They definitely need a little bit more space. I think it's really hard to tell. We actually can't tell 100% without really looking at the skeleton underneath the microscope. And then even further, there's genetic testing, and that can lead sometimes to the reclassification of corals. Like, let's find a Lobo. Where's Lobo? Because Lobo got reclassified, I think it was 2018 or 2020. So many corals in the store, sometimes I get lost. Lobo, Lobophilia, we just call them Lobos. Symphilia, Scolies, and a couple other ones. Australamusa, after some genetic testing, molecular testing, they were all grouped under the same name. So 5 or 6 corals that were kind of distinct, at least with names and structures, really are all now grouped under the name Lobophilia, for better or for worse. Now, I know that for myself, it's going to be hard to break the habit of calling something that I'm used to calling. Like if I see an Australamusa, I still want to call it an Australamusa, even though technically it is no longer that. So just a little bit of insight on the renaming of corals. Okay, let me show you some mushrooms, because the Yumas are out of this world. Check out the color on this one. This one looks like it's God was making it and then just decided, let's turn up the saturation on this one right here. For whatever reason, I want this one to be really, really bright. It's just so luminescent orange. Yumas Really nice Yumas, and they're big. Like, they're not little tiny Yumas. These are a couple inches across. This is really funky. Maybe Rhodactis, maybe not. It's almost got like its own little cluster of polyps. I don't think Rhodactis, actually. I don't know what this is, but it's a really, really nice mushroom regardless. Too many Zoas to even count. There's so many different types. Let me just try and stay focused for half a second. Oh, this is what I want to show you. Number 156. Really cool what they're doing now with these Goniporas. They're gluing different colors into like little bouquets, and they end up making these really beautiful little colorful collections of Gonis. Another striking mushroom, probably Discosoma, maybe, but bumpy. I like anytime there's just like a slight variation in the coral. Oh, I gotta show you these nymphs because they're just perfect. They're so nice. These green with the speckly, green with orange tips, and then this stunning. Another, if we're going to use the word showpiece, this is another one I would definitely apply it to. Look at the size, just perfectly bubbly, exactly what we want to see. Now the carpet nymphs, we got I think 50 or 60. They're still, they don't look so hot yet. They need probably another week to adjust. But these ones, these are really cool, very funky. I just need them to turn over. Plate corals, lots of different varieties. There's another funky mushroom, just green. So I find green corals, usually take a little bit longer to sell just because they're green, but so different, just that really cool fuzzy pattern. This Blastomusa, again, just crazy. Awesome color on that. And then some really funky varieties of acans. So these are different than the ones we see out of Australia. We get different color combinations. Like this one right here, it's almost like pink and yellow. So very, very distinct from Australian acans. Even the shape, I find the heads on these ones are more round, they're more circular, where the Australian ones, they don't take such a like a circular formation of their structure. Incredible Zoas, again, super bright, lots of heads. Most of these pieces you're going to see already up on the site offered as colonies. I typically offer full pieces, and then whatever's left, whatever you guys don't grab, that then will get chopped down into smaller frags. And they end up selling, most of the time better as frags. I find most people want frags, and to be honest, we make more money with frags. The whole world is moving towards frags, but sometimes it's just such a shame to cut them up. I just feel bad. It pains me to run it through the bandsaw. So I almost always try to offer them as full pieces like this one. Just incredible mushroom corals. Even these ones are really funky. If you see anything in today's video that you just must have, we can ship soft coral as long as it doesn't have a skeleton just about anywhere in the world. Stuff like this, if you see something you gotta have, but it's not yet up on the site, you can always email us. I can send you a price and we can see if it's plausible. This is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen a Goni actually quite like that one there. This is such a funky and rare coral. I'm actually going to do a video on this one alone. I just got to put that out there. If you think you know what it is, I'm just going to say you are probably close, but you're wrong. I love this one just because of that white, perfect white paintbrush streak extending from the mouth right to the skirt. Like, what is your purpose? Why are you here, and why are you so beautiful, and why do you have that little highway of white vesicles? I want to understand. Very funky. We're starting to see more of these hammers, these kind of gold, blue. We call them frozen gold here. Quite rare, I would say, a few years ago, but I'm starting to see more and more of these come in, but they're still so cool to look at. Not so many torch. Usually I would get a lot more torch corals in, but I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. So when you see corals come in, it's a combination of what's available, what the CITES will allow, but then also what I'm sort of in the mood for. So I try to order things that I think are different, that I think people will like. This is a funky torch, the one I'm hovering over. It's from Australia. But you see a lot of weird shit come through just because I kind of like weird corals. Latistella Mosile. I think this was also reclassified of Lobo. Don't ask me how. Anyways, stuff like this, not super popular, but just so different. Just a UFO of a coral. Now these open brains, like so many different varieties. I think this might be the nicest coral shipment that we got in this year of 2025. The two of them combined. I don't know if we've had more on hand in the shop. I don't know if we've had more beautiful corals than what we have right now. Just like, oh my God, if you want to say rainbow, you're allowed to use it. For this one, and for this one, you get my approval. And you guys know that I am very sparing with that word. I hate using it. It's overplayed, it's hoard out, and it means basically nothing. Even words like ultra, I do my best to avoid using it on the website because it's just become a useless marketing tool that really means nothing. I have this constant battle, the hobbyist side of me and the business side of me. And the hobbyist side of me says don't use it, and then the business side of me says when you use it, people buy it. But I'm moving more and more towards never using it because it's just not necessary. The Zoanthids, it's only been a day, still not open. I'm seeing a lot of potential. I'm seeing a lot of different funky little colors that they look like they want to come through. And the same thing goes with the leathers. They just need a little bit more time. Sometimes one day is not enough. Not even a day. These just came in last night. So they could use maybe 24, 48 hours before we see them. But I started using the word bloom. I don't know where that came from. I know it's used for flowers, but for some reason, I'm starting to use it even for corals. They haven't bloomed yet. Another one of those funky acans that I was talking about in the beginning. Just like just different than what we're used to seeing. Beautiful plate coral, striking red, purple, green. Such a cool animal. And then this one right here, I think I only got a handful, maybe 3 or 4 when I say a handful, Fabias. And this supplier allows us to select every single piece of coral. It's all what you see is what you get. So, well, it's 2 shipments. On the one of them, we take no filler. So every single coral is me looking at a photo, looking at a price list, and selecting it, which is amazing because when I say filler, a lot of suppliers, you can't just cherry pick the best. You have to take the good with the mediocre. Some corals that aren't as popular, aren't as colorful. If you could just cherry pick, then a big store or a big wholesaler would come through and say, just give me all of these, and then that's it. That's not how it works. You have to take a little bit of everything. With this supplier, you can cherry pick. You can take as much or as little. You're going to pay for it. It's quite expensive, but you're not left with anything you don't desire. There's no surprises. There's no nothing. And then we end up with shipments that look like this, Euphyllias that look like this. Such a cool piece, those squiggly lines. It kind of reminds me of like the bicep vein. Some people's bicep veins coming down their arm get kind of squiggly. I don't know why. I'm always reminded by that little, see that? I don't know how I missed this acan. This shipment surprises me in a couple ways because there's just so much, but also I like, even though I ordered it, I will spend time, I'll look at it, and then I'll look away, and then I'll look again, and I don't know how I missed it. There's certain pieces, like this one, I'm like, wow, where were you when I unpacked you? Even though every single piece has moved through my hands, it's been here for a few days, there's just so much to look at that it's, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's almost overwhelming. And I just need you guys to be a little bit patient locally with the pricing. So I know it's kind of messed up to say, but I don't have a finalized price. I have a rough ballpark. I almost need to see which pieces are not going to make it in order to fully calculate a landed cost. So like on the clams, I'm seeing probably 6 or 7. It makes quite a big difference when we're paying for shipping. Shipping's high or shipping water. It's really heavy. And shipping often ends up being as much, if not more, than the cost of the corals themselves. At least for us, we're in Canada. If you live in Korea and you're bringing corals from Indonesia, the shipping really isn't going to be that much. But we're on the other side of the planet. I haven't even commented on these. I'm talking about shipping, and I'm not giving any love to how amazing these mushroom corals are. So many pieces on this shipment, so many color combinations, like this one that I've never seen before. That's one of my favorite things about not only the hobby, but the business, is because I'm in love with the corals. I'm in love with the product I sell. I love what I do, and it's always something new. Like, let's say, I'm just going to take an example. I'm sorry that if you're out there watching and you sell bicycles for a living, right? I feel like if you're selling bikes, you kind of know which brand names, and there's no big revolutionary things happening in, let's say, the pedals or the brakes. Or, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that much about bikes. But with these lovely little animals that I have dedicated my life to and I'm fully obsessed with, there's not a single shipment that comes in that I'm not surprised. I don't see something like, wow, what the heck are those? I've never seen this variety of you know, blue kind of funky Rhodactis, or this sort of goldeny orange acan. And it's like Christmas Day every single time that I find myself unboxing. I love doing it alone. Okay, it's a lot faster. I'm not trying to say anything about my staff because they're absolutely fantastic. We have a really good team right now. Everyone's jiving. We're about to bring someone new on board, and but there's something about doing it alone when the lights are off. There's no distractions. There's no noise. There's nothing. It's me here in the shop, in the zone, in the flow with the corals, and it's really, really meditative. I get into like a rhythm, and I look back on shipment nights. You know, I complain sometimes in the videos about it's super late, and this is not for you if you have a family or kids, which I know very little about until November this year. I'm expecting my first child, and so maybe my viewpoints will change. But I always say, like, if you have to be up earlier, there's time commitments, so you don't mind, you know, if it's demanding in that respect. So I don't mean to come off as complaining, because I'm really and truly blessed in so many ways. But that time alone at night is so nice, especially when you open a bag and it goes, "Hello, I'm Blastomuxa, and I came to look pretty." Now this is another coral that I was talking about in the beginning, Euphyllia, reclassified as Lobo. This is one that I can kind of understand. I can see sort of the structure. I can kind of see, like, okay, they look like they're related, but now they're not. They're not related. They are one in the same. Couple of beautiful acroporas. Again, I'm going to offer, oh, excuse me, fish. I'm going to offer these as colonies before they go choppy. If somebody out there doesn't want a little frag, you want the, you know what? I want the whole shebang, March. I want all of it, and I don't want to wait a year for that frag to grow up. Well, maybe sometimes faster, maybe sometimes a little slower. Depends on the coral. And that's it. Very, very nice shipment. We're going to start working through it slowly. What does that mean? That means pricing. It means it takes time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you saw some cool stuff. Again, if you saw anything that you must have, email us. It's info@fragbox.ca, and we would be honored, and it would be a privilege for us to serve you in your aquarium. That's it, guys. We'll see you on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Bye for now.